Someone called me and told me their child constantly wets the bed, right? And I want to tell you, yes, while this could be spiritual, there's also the psychological reason and there's also the medical reason. And we are going to understand this a little more deeper. So, in the spiritual perspective, the body itself is known to communicate what words can communicate. Now, you already know the body is made out of approximately 70% water, and our emotional body, our emotional state itself is what is going to release. It clears energy, right? So during sleep state, it's going to release fear, emotional distress, or even energetic disturbances. Now this itself connects with the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra, that deals with our survival, our security, our groundedness, our fears, if we are so too fearful. And of course, if the body itself is unsettled, then this is how it reacts. The last aspect I'm going to add is children are naturally more sensitive, especially when it comes to the spiritual aspect. They don't know about spiritual experiences or even spiritual anything like that. So we need to make sure they are grounded and protected and safe. Now, in the psychological aspect, do you know children experience emotions just as deep as us? Sometimes they may not be able to use a language that we are going to use. I am feeling anxious, I am feeling overwhelmed, I am grieving. You wouldn't hear a child saying that, right? Now this is why these emotions are expressed in a physical way. So stress itself also affects the autonomic nervous system, which particularly affects the sympathetic nervous system, which also influences certain bodily functions. So you understand what is happening here. So changes in sleep quality, emotional regulation, and even the bladder control itself can get messed up in moments where we are emotionally overwhelmed. Now let's jump on the medical aspect. Have you ever heard the term nocturnal enuresis? Now nocturnal enuresis is most common for children. This is simply part of the natural development, right? I have to tell you, there are several medical explanations, and I might just jump into a few. So some children may have delay in their bladder maturation. What that means is during the development itself, the communication between the brain and the bladder is a little bit slow. In some cases, they may produce lower levels of ADH or antidiuretic or vasopressin, right, hormone during the nighttime. Normally, this hormone tells the kidney to reduce urine production during sleep time. Some children may also have reduced functional bladder capacity. What that simply means is their bladder cannot hold so much. And there's actually one with the deep sleepers. Sometimes the brain is trying to wake you up and you just can't wake up because you are just so deep in that sleep. There's also a genetic component to this with UTI, urinary tract infection, constipation, obstructive, sleep apnea, neurological and bladder issues as well. So with these things, we have to definitely go on a medical aspect. Now, based on what you learned, you could have maybe a clear indication on if you need to go by a spiritual person, if you need to go by a psychologist, if you need to go by a medical practitioner. So use your discretion well, and next time, do not make fun of people that have this problem, okay? With love, light, peace, and happiness to you.